Good afternoon. Welcome to this month's meeting of the Transportation Licensing Commission. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, notice is hereby given that if you are not satisfied with a decision made by the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of certiorari with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. Have my fellow commissioners had a chance to review last month's meeting minutes? Move for approval. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. The first substantive item on our agenda today are new company applications for other vehicles for hire. Mr. Fields?
There are 9 companies on your agenda. All of the companies have submitted the information that they need and are in order and are in order for your consideration and meet the reasons on and all the laws to be licensed.
Fields, this is for the emergency?
These are just other vehicles for hire. These will be livery services.
Okay. Did we ever get a decision from Metro if we can approve en banc the in one motion versus taking them individually?
I think it's fine as long as there's nothing. I think it's fine as long as it's clear what the motion includes.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the applications for the listed livery services. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 applications in bunks.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes to grant the new company applications.
Chair, could the record show that I abstained on number 8, Uptown Limo Service?
Thank you.
I have a contractual relationship with his employer.
Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't. All I heard was yay. Next item on our agenda, we have a request to review new driver applications for Kenneth Humphrey, Amin Shabazz, and Jess Yaffe. Mr. Fields.
Mr. Humphrey is here. Mr. Shabazz is both here. I'll be happy to share with you. Mr. Humphrey's filed his application. Everything is in order. There was a particular incident on there that involved public indecency. He had as he has described to me, an issue with the police department. Had his shirt off in a public park. In speaking with some folks, I understand that this is not a sex-related crime. It is a crime. It's a crime against the public, and it would not prevent him from being approved.
Do we have a motion with respect to Mr. Humphrey?
I make a motion that we approve the application.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is Amin Shabazz.
Mr. Shabazz is here. There were a couple of what has him in front of you in making his application. He failed to list a couple of issues that dated from 1998 and then back to 1989. He has had no issues since that time, but when he failed to list the those charges on his application. It required review by the full commission. He has had several people call to recommend and offer their support for him. And again, based on his application, there's not a basis to deny other than he failed to list.
I make a motion to approve the application for Amin Shabazz.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next individual applicant is Mr. Jess Yaffe.
I don't believe Mr. Yaffe is here. He was noticed and both on the phone and by letter.
With respect to Mr. Yaffe, did he also fail to disclose items?
He failed to disclose item, and then typically if they fail to appear, you typically deny based on failure to appear.
What was the failure to disclose?
He failed to disclose a 2010 disorderly conduct.
We have no explanation why he's not here today.
We don't, you can move him to the hill of the agenda. The only explanation I could have is we have changed location, but since he had not been at the previous one. But again, if you could move it to the hill of the agenda and see if he appears.
Do we know if this disorderly conduct was dismissed, retired, or was there a disposition of guilty?
I cannot answer that, and I apologize.
Is someone here from Grand Avenue?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm in the same position, looking at TBI records. I couldn't tell whether it was dismissed or, and for that reason, he might not have listed it, or whether there was a guilty plea. So,
Why don't we move him to the heel? We'll come back, and then if he's not here, then we can consider what we'll do. Next item on the agenda, we have new driver applications for record drivers. First applicant is Mr. Jeremiah Martin.
Mr. Martin was not here when we started the meeting. Mr. Martin, are you here? I do not see him.
All right.
Could we move him to the end as well?
Yes, and next is Kevin Messer.
Mr. Messer's not present.
Gregory Sanders. Mr. Fields.
Mr. Sanders, 2012, had an evading arrest charge that he failed to list. He did list other charges. He just did not list that particular charge. It would not be it's not a felony, and it would not prevent him from being a record driver. But by failing to put it on, we need to bring him for your consideration.
Mr. Sanders here?
He is. Mr. Sanders, will you approach, please? You could step to the podium, and there should be a button, I believe, you have to press.
I've got it on.
Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you. Can you please tell us about the failure to list the one misdemeanor?
I honestly had just forgot about it. I came back the second time to fill out the application again and list it, but they had told me to come back. So,
Mr. Sanders, it would appear to me, in looking at your criminal record, that the evading arrest was connected to the aggravated assault case. Were they all one incident?
no, sir.
All right, separate incidents?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was it related to the speeding violation or the reckless driving?
No, sir.
All right.
That's different.
And your arrest on that was February 12th, 2012?
Yes, sir.
What was the outcome of the case?
It was probation. It was probation, pay fines, and then have it expunged. I just never had it expunged.
What was your probation violation about?
It was the evading arrest.
Are you on probation anywhere right now?
No, sir.
That's all I have. I'd make a motion that we approve Gregory Sanders' application.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you.
We'll come back to Mr. Jess Yaffe. Mr. Yaffe is still not present.
Move to deny.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Mr. Kevin Messer. Mr. Fields, I know you had some comments on Mr. Messer.
In reviewing Mr. Messer's record, he revealed his charges. Unfortunately, he continues to be, he's on the Tennessee Sexual Offender Registry. It is not specifically a disqualifier, but it was one that I thought needed to be raised to the commission level for discussion.
Move to no.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Mr. Fields, is there any other business that we need to address?
Mr. Martin was.
Thank you. Mr. Martin?
Move to no.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That concludes our listed items on the agenda. Is there any other business to be brought before us, Mr. Fields?
I would like to make an announcement. I anticipate at the August 28th meeting bringing, asking for a public hearing, at least one public hearing, on the issue of changes to the other vehicle for hire ordinance, 674. It would be, we've been working several months with Metro Legal and others to bring regulations that would allow UberX, Lyft, and other transportation network companies to operate in Davidson County legally. We anticipate having the final draft very shortly. As soon as we got a couple of tweaks maybe to make to it, then we'll give it to the commission and give it to the public and then ask you to consider it. I've not spoken to legal about this, but I also may want to talk about the issue of the registry, maybe asking you to consider a rule that will address that.
Great. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.